What's good, my people? In this video, I'm going to break down how to make beats for Clavish's rap game Awful.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
We're going to start off with who he is, so if you don't know, you can get to know. And then I'm going to break down the beat inspired by Traumatized. But if you want to get straight to it, skip to. So Clavish is coming out of North London and started building a buzz through his car freestyles in 2017.
I was dealing bud, 17s when I told bro, hey come let's go get money, being broke is rub. Since that day we ain't ever looked back, just flipped a pack, look at all these funds. Ring, ring, them cats keep calling. Told that fiend we're signing off but we'll be back by morning.
Then following that, he dropped his Mad About bars, which led to me personally discovering his music. But it was his daily duppy that really made people start to pay attention and take him in. And since then, it's been nothing but elevation, with guest appearances on Fredo and Nines' projects, being seen in the studio with Heady One and Dave, and securing the top 10 with DBE through his single Rocket Science. Traumatized was produced by Check Beats, and in my opinion, he's one of the underrated GOATs when it comes to UK rap music, having produced for the likes of Fredo and H in the past as well. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the sample for Traumatized samples Cisco Fong Song, so it only makes sense for us to start with the melody. So I started this sample at 72 BPM, because in Clavish's Traumatized, Check Beats has the beat at 144 BPM, so I decided to make my own sample, then speed it up and add the drums after. So for me to create the string pluck sound that you can hear in the sample, I started off by going into Spitfire Audio, selecting the strings violin 1, and then selecting the spiccato preset. I then decided to create a piano melody to go on top of the strings. I ended up only using this for the bridge just to add a bit more variation and source, but I still thought I'd show it. So with this actual melody, I started off by essentially copying that G sharp minor chord from the previous strings and then ending it with the 1 of the D sharp minor scale, which is obviously D sharp minor. This is a preset that I use for the piano sound. In the sample for Traumatized, you can hear a very, very low string bass. So in order to give the sample that I'm making a bit more body, I decided to create a similar string bass using the string bass preset in Spitfire Audio and selecting the long preset.
What do you mean by that?
Alright, cool, so here's the real source. If you've been making drill for a minute, you've probably heard of this bank before. This is a Sonos Core lyrical violin phrases bank. And in order for me to add some more authentic, realistic sounding violins with this sample, I went into this bank and I selected the Old Gods minor key. I added in some notes, and once I found a phrase that I was happy with, then recorded it and changed the pitch. And this is what it sounds like. Once I was happy with all of the melodies, I bounced them all out, up the tempo, and this is what they sound like all together. For the drums, the first element I added was a snare. Quite simple, nothing too crazy. I then went on to layer that snare with another rim. After that, I moved on to the hi-hats, and as you can see with the hi-hats, I changed the velocity so it has a bit more of a bounce to it, and then added some additional rolls just to kind of give it a bit more sauce.
You like a hi-hat guy, kinda.
After that, I added an open hat just to add a bit more bounce once again. And I added a bongo roll at the end of the 4 bars. After I was happy with the bounce, I went on to start making 808s. Once again, these 808s are mad simple, nothing too crazy. It's just following the bass notes from the previous chords that we played when creating the sample. And finally for the bridge, I went into the goated Nexus 2. Big up everyone who's still using Nexus 2. And then I selected the Prid sidechain bass. Once again, if you've been producing for a minute, you know that this is a classic Grease bass used by Metro Boomin in a lot of his early production.
I'm gonna give you guys that one. That's out of Nexus, over here in the Dance Volume 1 expansion pack. It's called Prid's Sidechain Bass. That's really like my go-to bass line, like when I'm making a beat.
Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know for the first tutorial if you man are feeling it. More tutorials coming soon. And yeah, boom, here's the full beat.
Boy, them pull up, no, I'm cutting first. I was upset when bro got first blood cut, I tried cutting first. This white girl more than average, made my number jerk. These dirty pellets spread, that's worse than a fucking germ. What's gonna help me live my bestest life? Money up, bestest times. Them times bro was still alive. I know he's gone, but he's still that guy. I've seen man get shot and stabbed, never left me traumatized. Real niggas turning fake, left me more surprised. I'll air out man for Jung, will do the same for me. I love that guy. Bando settings with some DJ scales on number 9. If you put our phone on flight mode, we'll be done by 9. Music pays is kinda ad. I still wanna shut off Miley's side. Got Miley Cyrus, offshots know my name. Not my real one, if they did, I probably caught a case. I'm the hood's hottest topic, might end up on Hall of Fame. Can't get my shank mixed up with bros, me and him don't go the same. I'm way too fly, even when I don't pack my bags, I'm board the plane. Dip game 9, don't believe me, go up, what's his face? CCTV don't mean shit if you